Welcome back, folks. This is Tommy, HelpWithGadgets, and we've got a very cool knife to take a look at today. This is the Poikilo Blade. This is the COA, by the way. The Poikilo Blade Tero. And you see this is a standard 2 and all the information about it. We'll just leave that off to the side right there while we do this. Let's go ahead. Oh, by the way, this is the pouch that they come in. Got a nice high quality microfiber cloth in there that you wrap it up in and then put it in this nice leather pouch with a couple of patches on it. So very cool. Let's go ahead and get our measuring device, take a look at this. We're looking at about 3.5 inches ish on the blade length itself, and a little less than 8 inches overall length. Let's grab the handy dandy weight measuring device, and I've got to change the unit of measure there. My wife was doing weighing some stuff for the pool, and you're looking at 5.1 ounces. Okay, so a little over that 5 ounce mark, but not terribly so. All right, let's go ahead and measure it against some knives that you may be familiar with. This is the CJRB Pyrite, and we have a QSP Penguin there. Let's look at a Miguron Morial and a Vastid Acorn. All right, a couple more pairs to go. We got the Kaiser Militao and the Ozark Trail. Ozark Trail's a little bit bigger. Ozark Trail, the Militao is a little bit bigger. Oh my. All right, and then the Spyderco PM2 is going to be a little bit longer there, and the Benchmade 940 should be about the same-ish, thereabouts, as far as length. Now, thickness, this is a pretty thick knife. Here it is against the PM2. We'll try the Militao. It's even thicker than that Militao there. Of course, it's going to be thicker than that 940 by a good bit. The Miguron Morial, it's still thicker than that. As far as in pocket, there it is against the Militao. Somewhat similar there on the pocket space it'll take up, but of course not as near as much as that PM2 is going to take up. All right, let's see how it looks in pocket. Let me get a pair of jeans out here and sit this here, show you what it looks like in pocket. Looks very nice. You've got a nice milling sticking and dark stonewash sticking up above your pants pocket with a very nice clip that's easy to get in and out of pocket. Take a look at that pocket clip and how it looks and how it's made there. A mill clip. All right, the blade steel on this is M398. There you go on the M398, and then you've got the Poikilo logo on this side. Nice pop of color here on the around the pivot, and same for both sides. Good access to the lock bar. There's the lock bar there, and you can see what the lockup is on there. Well, kind of, sort of. And then, but really easy access to that lock bar. You've got some scalloping here on this side that makes it quite easy to get to that lock bar. All right. So I mentioned you got a little bit of purple on the pivot collars there. You've got jimping here along the top, and it is actually functional jimping there and functional jimping here, even though and also not just, you know, every, it's in a pattern is what I'm trying to say, not just your standard jimping. As for a lanyard hole, there you have it. Fits in real nicely, not able to be seen very easily if you're not looking at that end of the knife, but nonetheless looks like it would work really well for a lanyard. Opening methods, you've got the reverse flick there. Yeah, you can use your thumb to do that. You can slow roll it, and you've got the front flipper that works just fine for just about every front flipping method that you may want to try. In fact, it works really well. Works really well for the using the opening hole. I would like to see that move down just a tad where you can more easily get your finger down here, but I'm not going to complain too much because it works just fine. It's just, that was my preference, that it be moved down just a little bit. Price on this one. This one's the S2, which is the configuration 2. As you can see, the standard 2 there, right there. And this one comes in at about $400. S1 comes in at about $380, and I think there's some fancier models as well from the lookup that I did earlier. Detent's just fine. There's not a problem with that at all. The adjustment, or the detent adjustment's just fine, and I think you can hear those acoustics and how snappy this knife is. We looked at the lockup. Blade play is not there. Side to side, up and down, it's all good. Scale material, of course, is a stonewash titanium that's been milled. You've got some cutouts here for the thumb. The opening hole the opening hole has been chamfered for ease of use as well. I think it might be a little bit better if that jimping came up here closer to the end of the front flipper, just a little bit more, but it seems like it works pretty much okay. You just got to make sure if you're doing it this way, you get your finger over there and then get that finger out of the way, or it's going to get hit by that blade. Very nice blade shape, as you can see here. You've got a flat grind and this sort of tanto-ish, long tanto-ish blade shape there. Overall, a very nice looking knife. As you see there, the centering is good, and that blade comes very close to the end down here, but you're not able to, at least I'm not able to touch that blade. And you've got this backspacer that kind of wraps around, kind of gives the look of wrapping around up here. So a good blade to handle ratio there. Fits in the pocket just fine, as I showed, and there's no harsh edges there. Maybe a little bit right there, because you have some functional jimping there. If you were going to reach your hand in to get something, that would be the only thing to be objectionable there, and that's not really a big deal in my opinion. All right, what do I think about this knife? This was one of my favorite ones of this batch that Fred sent to me. I may not have even mentioned that. This is on loan from Fred the Lug. Appreciate him allowing me to take a look at it. And this is probably one of the more favorite of this particular batch. And I'll try to run most of these somewhat in line. I may have a insert a video or two in the midst of all these to just kind of break it up. But this one is comfortable in hand, has what I think is a functional blade shape, and is, again, very comfortable. There's enough girth to this handle that it is comfortable, and not really trying to see if I see any kind of a hot spot, and I'm not really feeling anything there. I like the little pop of color there. I like how the scales are titanium, stonewash titanium, and then there's that milling there that not only is functional but looks good as well. And then the blade itself, you got a flat edge here on the top, and a pretty much perfect size 3.5-inch blade. I like this one. And I've mentioned before about the price of these knives is a little bit higher, but I do think that Poikilo has probably one of the best production, or they do some of the best production work out of any of the knife makers in China that I'm familiar with. And I would say that they probably would rival Riot or something like that. They do really good work, make quality knives that are very functional and for the most part very smooth. I'm not saying I like every one of them. In fact, there's a couple that I don't really care for, but that's my preference. That's the opening methods and such I just don't care for. But for the most part, really like Poikilo. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. And I know price is probably going to be something that that a lot of people are going to state as a reason not to get the knife. But again, I think they are very high quality. Please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so. Again, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hope to see you again soon, and really appreciate you watching. Thanks.